Okay, we're going to talk about Belle Delphine, and I hope you haven't forgotten who this woman is, because it's been a while since she went viral for selling her bathwater to OnlyFans simps. She's just revealed the amount of riches that she made from selling her bathwater. I believe the figure is $6.3 million.
Wow.
Which she sold as...
selling her bathwater?
Yeah, Gamer Girl bathwater, $30 a pop. And I have no idea if this was a scam or if it was just tap water in a small cup. But men were actually purchasing this at the time, and it was like new territory. Because a lot of people had not heard of OnlyFans or, online...
I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Online sex work in general. But she recently went on Louis Theroux's podcast and did this tell-all interview about the highs and lows, the epic highs and lows of being a digital prostitute, basically. And there are a lot of sad revelations, to be honest. There's a lot of money. She used this money to buy herself a house, which a lot of young people can't do these days. She said she made $6.3 million from just one viral video on her OnlyFans. And the unfortunate reality is that her father shunned her, disowned her, once he found out how she was making all of this money, because she bought this house, and he's like, what the hell are you doing that you could afford this house? And just a couple of days after...
Like bartending?
Yeah, like, I'm just a really successful waitress. But yeah, like a couple of days after she started selling this bathwater online is when he came to her house and found out what she did for a living. It's more than a living, but that is when they cut off contact, according to her. She said in this interview that he blew up on her and they're no longer speaking, and he's disowned her completely. Wow. And that's controversial on its own. I mean, you can think like, what would I do in that situation as a parent, right? We've talked about this before, I think. And I think I've said I wouldn't disown a kid for doing this, but that doesn't mean that you have to accept what they're doing or celebrate it. But yeah, now her net worth is like in the tens of millions from this stuff, and is the trade-off worth it?
How was the I wonder how it was like packaged and everything. I don't know. I'm just
it didn't look that high value. It was just like this little plastic cup with a sticker on it that says Gamer Girl Bathwater.
How much was she charging for each one? Do you know?
$30.
Oh, $30.
Yeah, $30 each, and it sold. It sold.
So we're both in the wrong field. You need to go to Black Lives Matter and get into all that, and you and I need to start selling bathwater.
I'm good on that. Like, I'll pass. Thank you. Yeah, but
what is it with
there were these dudes making videos like trying Gamer Girl bathwater for the first time. They were drinking it, bathing in it. I mean, doing God knows what with it. I don't even know.
I imagine when guys said, that tastes like amaranth water, not Belle Delphine
like,
water.
They can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and since you mentioned amaranth, she got a deal recently to use her own vaginal yeast to make a beer, a brand of beer that of course her simps are going to purchase.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because I've always said like these creeps will they'll pay for anything, really. Like, I feel like she's leaving money on the table. If she gets a haircut, she should be selling her hair. Do you know how much she could probably sell a lock of her hair for?
Well, she said she debated selling her own spit or her own hair, but resolved to sell the bathwater because it's less impactful, but still cute and fun, but remains close to her physical body. Yeah.
No, I feel bad for everybody involved in this, because it's like I'm kind of with you. I wouldn't disown my child for having an OnlyFans or being a sex worker, but I would be strongly disappointed. I would make that very clear every opportunity that I got, because it's like, especially if you raised her and were present in her life, that's embarrassing to a father.
Yeah. I think that the story you're more likely to hear is that there's this super suspiciously supportive mom in the picture who really celebrates that her daughter is doing this. You hear that a lot.
Charlie Sheen, Denise Richards situation where Denise Richards is now doing OnlyFans with her daughter.
Yes. Yeah. And they're like teasing like collab with my daughter on OnlyFans, and this is actually something they're selling.
I actually do have a crazy story about that. When I worked in family law, and technically I never signed an NDA, he forgot to give me that document. But there was a particular divorce case where the divorce was petitioned by the husband because the husband found out that the daughter was doing some kind of pornographic website or something of that nature. And then when he went to the website, realized that the daughter was doing porn with the mom/wife. So they had a site together where they would do all this like BDSM dominatrix type of stuff, and he just had no idea what was going on.
Okay, that's disgusting.
Disturbing, disgusting,
They would
repulsive.
do it like with each other or with other men? Was there-
I don't know that
That's-
extent of
either
the
way.
details.
I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
I limited my questions when I was doing my work. That had nothing to do with me. So
I'm gonna have to add that to my growing list of OnlyFans related horror stories.
yeah.
How's that coming?
I should add Belle Delphine to it.
Yep.
Yeah. She said that while she notes everybody in her family knew how she was making her millions, she never wanted it to be a secret. Her dad was the last person to find out, and his reaction left a lasting impact. So
Good.
he went to her house and he just went wild, she said. He went crazy. The messages he was writing, it was just horrible. But he's always been like that, so it's not something I wouldn't have expected. So that sounds like, you know, they have the enabling mom who's like supporting it because you want in on the cash,
Yep.
which is especially disgusting because, you know, it's your job to protect your kid from
The
these types of things.
Bathwater thing is, you know, it's interesting. I just saw the movie Saltburn, and
Ugh.
y'all know
She
the
was ahead of her
scene-
time.
That scene, oh my gosh, where he's drinking the from the
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not-
Yeah.
The dirty
I
water.
did not want to watch that movie
Yeah.
for that reason. And
yeah, I just
Other
didn't think it
things
was-
that I
didn't
read
think It was
about.
very good in general, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Also, I pulled up this clip where Louis Theroux asks Belle Delphine to explain what a simp is to him. Let's take a look at that reel.
The Simps. Who came up with that?
Oh, I have no idea. Simps basically just a very strong male fan of a woman who maybe has connotations of giving her money or white knighting her a bit on the internet.
White knighting, that's another one. Basically, someone who does way too much for a person they like, typically a man who does way too much for a woman, right?
Yeah, and I suppose some people generalize it as any man who does pay for sexual content could be classified as a simp.
Often seen as sort of a synonym with beta, cuck. I'm using all
I
the
think
internet
cuck's
terms.
slightly different.
Cuck's what? Cuck
What?
is more. We've gone really deep into 4chan now. If we're going to try and explain the internet to everyone who's listening,
Yeah, so
You're gonna
actually a lot of Louis Theroux's fans who think themselves much smarter than they are were angry at him for interviewing her.
Why?
Well, she has been known to kind of infantilize herself in this sexual content.
Oh, so they think there's something pedophilic about it.
I would agree with them, honestly.
The,
Yeah.
The top comment on the Louis Theroux thing says, "Why is this small child a porn star?"
Yeah, another one said, Louis, ignore her. You're a giga chad who's been documentary maxing and keeping us red pilled. Not Louis platforming women who've been known to dress up as a child sexually, SMH. Another said, the whorephobia in this comment section is rife. Sex work is real work. People in the industry deserve respect and basic human decency, just like any other professional doing their job.
Your job is literally to. I don't know how much I could say on YouTube without getting you guys.
You know, speak your mind.
It's like your job is literally to ride dick on camera. So it's like, how am I supposed to look at you and be like, oh, like you put in so much work, you put in this 9 to 5, like you've been putting your blood, sweat, and tears. It's like, no, you're just putting your spit and sweat into your job. So I don't know. It's very hard to respect somebody who does that. It's like, I'm not judging necessarily.
The hope would be that.
Thank you.
If that's what you want to do, then like go for it, I guess. It's just don't expect the rest of society to look at what you do with something credible.
The hope would be that you also judge the men who partake the same way.
Oh yeah,
For the people that
100%.
do judge, it would be to judge both the same way.
I am judging both.
If you choose,
partially.
if you choose to do so.
I actually judge the men a lot more than I judge the
Yeah.
women, and I feel like that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. It's like the women who do it, it's like I think it's really gross. I think it's like it's a sad sign that you have given up on yourself and that you feel that you have no other value to put into the world besides your sexuality. But I feel like as a male, you're inherently that much more expected to bring something to the table, to build up a skill set, to work hard, to have these values, and then eventually to instill those values into your future family. But all you're doing now is just showing that you being a hypersexual being is the only thing that you want to put into the world. I feel like the expectation for a man should be higher, and like I guess that's the antithesis of the feminist movement, or is that, or are they supposed to be viewed as equal in the feminist movement? I don't know, but it's just very disappointing to me when you see more and more men getting into this industry when those are the same men who probably would go and shame women for doing this too.
The same men who would consume this type of content are the ones who
Exactly.
look down on it the most at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I judge both of those actions. I do. But I think that for a lot of them, sadly, they're creating a parasocial relationship with that OnlyFans chick, and they feel in their mind like they're providing for them in a certain sense.
Yeah.
Like it's the simulacra of being a provider for a woman, even though you don't have a personal relationship with her. And this is like a girlfriend simulator, essentially. That's what it is. I don't know. It's a sad situation all around, and I blame both parties. There's like too much battle of the sexes energy going on.
That seems to be a theme, it's like we talked about with before, the last topic.
Yeah.
Very much so. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.